Pack your things, you're done here. Supervisor Dr. Colin Mercer shoved the termination papers across the table, his voice dripping with arrogance. Naomi Brooks, a young nurse who had just saved a patient hours earlier, sat frozen as staff whispered and smirked around the room. "Maybe now you'll learn your place," Colin sneered. Phones recorded, humiliation spread, and silence thickened the air. What no one in that room knew was that Naomi wasn't powerless. One phone call would bring the hospital to its knees. "Pack your things, you're done here." The words slammed into the room like a gavel. Dr. Colin Mercer, head supervisor of Westbridge Memorial, shoved a termination letter across the table, his face twisted with disdain. Naomi Brooks sat frozen. Just hours earlier, she had saved a patient from collapsing in post-op by catching a medication error Colin had ignored. Now she was surrounded by sneering administrators, her career shredded in a single meeting. "Maybe now you'll learn your place," Colin spat, his words echoing in the sterile boardroom. Staff whispered, eyes flicking to the phones discreetly recording. Some smirked. Others looked away, unwilling to challenge the man who ruled the hospital with fear. Naomi's voice trembled but stayed firm. "I did my job. I protected a patient. Isn't that what this hospital is supposed to be about?" Colin barked a laugh. "Your job is to follow orders, not embarrass your superiors. You've been insubordinate from day one, and I don't tolerate arrogance." Arrogance. The word stung, carrying an old poison Naomi had heard her whole life. She folded her hands in her lap, refusing to give him the satisfaction of seeing her break. "You're fired. Effective immediately," Colin declared. "Security will escort you out." Gasps rippled. A nurse near the door whispered, "But she just saved that patient," before being silenced by Colin's glare. Naomi rose slowly, gathering the scattered papers from the table. Every eye followed her, the humiliation thick as fog. She paused, then calmly pulled out her phone. "Who are you calling?" Colin sneered. Naomi looked him dead in the eye. "My father." The room chuckled uneasily. "Daddy's little girl needs saving," Colin mocked. But when the line connected, Naomi's voice cut sharp through the tension. "Dad, they just fired me. From your hospital." The room stilled. A booming voice answered from the speaker, calm but lethal. "What did you say, Naomi?" Naomi's chin lifted. "Dr. Victor Brooks, they terminated me for protecting a patient." The administrators paled. Whispers surged. Chief of surgery, Colin forced a laugh. "Your father can't save you from this, Naomi. He doesn't run this hospital." But Victor's voice thundered through the phone. "Put me on speaker." Naomi obliged. His voice filled the room like judgment itself. "This is Dr. Victor Brooks, Chief of Surgery at Westbridge. Someone explain why my daughter was dismissed hours after preventing a near-fatal error." Colin stammered. "Sir, she overstepped protocol." "Protocol?" Victor snapped. "The protocol that nearly killed a patient under your supervision?" Phones recorded. Live stream notifications buzzed. The story was spreading beyond the boardroom. A nurse finally spoke up. Dr. Mercer ordered the medication without cross-checking. Naomi caught it. She saved that man's life. Another joined in. "This isn't the first time. He buries complaints. Everyone's too scared to speak." Colin's face blazed crimson. "Lies, all of it." Victor's voice was calm, deadly. "Colin Mercer, you have disgraced this hospital. Effective immediately, you are relieved of your duties. Security, remove him." The guards hesitated, but Victor's authority was undeniable. Colin's badge and ID clattered onto the table. He was escorted out, sputtering threats no one believed. Naomi exhaled slowly, but her father's voice wasn't finished. "To the rest of you, let this be clear. Discrimination, intimidation, and arrogance have no place in medicine. From this day forward, there will be accountability." The administrators shifted, pale as the walls. Victor continued, his voice like scripture. I am instituting independent review boards, anonymous reporting lines, and zero tolerance for retaliation. This hospital will heal from the inside out, or it will not stand at all. Naomi finally spoke, her voice steadier than ever. For every nurse who's been silenced, for every patient put at risk, today it ends. Applause broke out, not polite, but thunderous, raw. Staff who had feared Colin's wrath for years now stood taller, their faces lit with relief. The live stream counter soared as the world watched humiliation turn into reckoning. Colin's name trended for all the wrong reasons. Hashtag Mercer fired. Naomi's trended for all the right ones. Hashtag Justice in Scrubs. Later that night, Victor stood beside his daughter at a press conference. "My daughter taught me something today," he told the world. "Excellence has no rank, no race, no gender. It only has truth. And if truth makes you uncomfortable, you should not wear the white coat." Naomi's reinstatement came with a promotion, Supervisor of Clinical Excellence. But more than a title, she gained a voice that reached beyond hospital walls. Months later, Naomi testified before Congress about systemic discrimination in healthcare. Cameras captured her poise, her fire, her refusal to be silenced. Laws were drafted, funding allocated, reforms sparked across the nation. But in her heart, the most powerful moment wasn't the applause of senators or the headlines that crowned her a hero. It was the quiet night she walked through the pediatric ward, a little girl clutching her hand, whispering, "Thank you for saving my brother." Naomi knelt, smiling through tears. "It wasn't just me," she whispered. "It was everyone who chose to tell the truth." The next morning, she walked the halls of Westbridge Memorial, not as the nurse who had once been humiliated, but as a leader reshaping its future. Staff who once kept their heads down now greeted her with pride. Formerly silenced nurses slipped folded notes into her hand, filled with gratitude and stories of their own battles. Each one reminded her that this fight was never just about one career. It was about rewriting the culture of an entire institution. The truth that had once humiliated her now rebuilt the world around her, and the hospital that had tried to strip her dignity would forever be remembered as the place where justice finally put on scrubs. If this story opened your eyes, don't just move on. Make your voice part of this movement. Like this video, share it widely, and drop a comment with the moment that shook you most. Subscribe and turn on notifications. More shocking truths are coming.